and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about Prince George's CO woman says her business is out thousands of dollars after their DoorDash account was hacked. So one of my subscribers ended up emailing me this article. BC, thank you so much for emailing me about this and making this video possible. And what this person had told me is that restaurants are being attacked now, and the restaurant owner is right that DD doesn't care that they stole thousands of dollars of payments from her account. So with that said, I want to go over everything that is being said in this article, how it actually is for DoorDash, UberEats, Grubhub, the restaurants on their corresponding platforms, how it affects us gig workers, because what happens to the restaurants can trickle down to us, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. The owners of Horace and Dickie's Seafood of Glenarden say they believe their DoorDash account was hacked and haven't received close to $24,000 in payments. This is actually not the first time a restaurant was attacked and lost thousands of dollars due to DoorDash. I think it was like a year and a half ago, I covered a story where a restaurant lost $50,000 in New York. I will leave that video in the description if you want to check that out. That was one of my older videos, so it's a different quality. But the point is that this is a repeating issue that's been going on for a while. But in this case, instead of them saying DoorDash just didn't pay them, their account was hacked. I feel like this could go either way, whether it's a DoorDash, an outside party, or whatever it may be, or even just an inside job, who knows. But either way, losing $24,000, that's a significant amount of money. They realized in June something was off when they checked their DoorDash account and saw their bank account information had been charged to a bank that was not theirs. Even worse, they discovered they haven't been receiving payments from third-party food delivery apps since March. Okay, I feel like, in my opinion, if you're noticing missing payments, that's your own fault as a business owner. Like, you should be checking your accounts on a regular basis. If you're not getting a payment for some reason, you take it up with them. You check your account. You make sure all is good. You never know when these things pop up. I feel like there's a level of negligence that came up there as well, because you said from March to June, March, April, May, June, that's 4 months of income that you're just not even paying attention to. Like, I understand you got a lot to work on with running a restaurant, but that's part of it. Does it justify the actions of their hacker or even DoorDash themselves? No. Does it mean that they should be more on their stuff? Yes. That $23,000 may mean $1 million to us, but it's only a penny to them, said Anise Hegler, the manager of Horace and Dickie's Seafood of Glenarden. However much it is, really, it doesn't matter if it's $23,000, $2,300, $23 million. It doesn't justify any sort of stealing money from a person. DoorDash has kind of earned that reputation, though. Uberlyft Phoenix lost $1,700 after working his butt off and his account because they claimed the store wasn't closed as a fraud report. Meanwhile, it was the graveyard shift, and no wonder there's going to be store closings. Same thing with Bud Soda, even though he miraculously ended up getting his account back. By the way, that is still $2,000 he almost lost. And that's still 4 months worth of fighting he had to do. You had your account hacked and lost $23,000, $24,000. That was 4 months of income for you. Imagine now after that you have to fight for another 4 months. Them being DoorDash, a few months ago, Hegler said they started receiving phone calls from someone claiming to be with DoorDash. Seriously? Never assume DoorDash is going to contact you. I can't speak for the restaurant side per se, but you can't assume that they're the ones going to be contacting you. Support teams don't reach out to you. They are reached out to. They were saying, do you have a tablet? We need to update your tablet and your account information. That was the immediate red flag because we do not have a DoorDash tablet, said Hegler. So wait, DoorDash was contacting you about a tablet you didn't even know? Like, what is that? How does that work? And in that case, why are you even getting DoorDash orders if you don't even have a tablet? How does that work? Hegler says despite the repeated phone calls and requests for information, they never gave any of that info over. Okay, I feel like there's a level of inside job that would have to happen here. Or if you're not even getting DoorDash orders, if somebody walks in saying, hey, I'm picking up for so-and-so, how do you operate that exactly? She says on June 20th, they logged into their account and discovered their bank account info had been swapped out for a foreign unknown bank account. We looked at our banking information and noticed there was a different bank and our antennae were up. Like, why is our banking info wrong? She told WUSA 9. It seems like this restaurant was being targeted rather frequently too. But here's the thing. You also told them that you do not have a DoorDash tablet, meaning that you shouldn't have even been on DoorDash. By telling them that you don't have a DoorDash tablet, doesn't that also mean that you told them that you're not on DoorDash? So when all these other DoorDash drivers were coming in and out of your place, what were you expecting? We reached out to DoorDash and said there has to be a problem, some sort of cyber attack inside of your portal because we haven't been receiving deposits, said Hegler. She says DoorDash told them that their account was externally compromised by an unknown fraudulent third party and that the business's email address was used to make the changes. Okay, it has to be an inside job. Somebody within your business hacked into your accounts and ended up changing all that information. I don't know who could have done it, but you gotta actually look into that too. Yes, it could have been a hacker too, but yikes, man. Hegler says they were told DoorDash would investigate, but were eventually told that nearly $24,000 could not be recovered. That's no little chunk of change for a small black business in PG County, Hegler said. You see, that's just wrong, man. That's just messed up. I know that they can't really help in terms of compromised passwords and stuff like that, and there's only so much they could do, but why do you gotta go attacking businesses like that? She says she's been trying to get more answers from DoorDash, but they hadn't received any further correspondence until Wednesday night when WUSA 9 reached out about what was going on. Literally, it takes going so public it hurts in order to get one thing done from DoorDash. A DoorDash spokesperson shared the following statement Wednesday night. DoorDash takes all reports of fraudulent behavior affecting our community seriously, regularly reminding users how to keep their information secure. We are saddened to hear that Horace and Dickey's Seafood of Glenarden experienced fraudulent activity, and in response, we have reached out to further understand their unique scenario. If any member of our community identifies unauthorized account activity, we strongly encourage them to reach out to DoorDash support. Basically, the thoughts and prayers equivalent to go F yourself. Because they said they never received any info from DoorDash, so clearly they totally lied. According to DoorDash, this was an isolated incident, and they say their platform is still secure. They say this was a result of fraudulent activity, but that it was not the result of a DoorDash error. Typical DoorDash to try to put the blame on everybody else but themselves. A payment block was implemented as soon as they learned of the issue, according to DoorDash. So now they really can't get any money, and why would they even want to stay on DoorDash if they're not even going to get paid at this point? They told WUSA 9 that they plan to issue a one-time courtesy payment to Horace and Dickey's Seafood of Glenarden because they wouldn't want the poor publicity of stealing that much money from a small business. Hegler says they don't understand how this could have happened because they didn't share any passwords or banking information with the person who called. That's kind of where we get stuck. I've done everything I could and I still got scammed, said Thomas Dearden, an assistant professor of sociology at Virginia Tech. He tells WUSA his research is focused on online scams and financial crimes. He says what happened here comes down to three things. Some kind of user error where they are reusing passwords or have simple passwords. Others would be on the company, a breach like a database breach. Third would be a traditional type of hacking, said Dearden. let the record show that the second option is a literal breach. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if DoorDash just lied about that. As for Horace and Dickies, they say they hope what happened to them serves as a warning for other business owners who work with third-party delivery apps. Check your accounts monthly or don't use them at all, said Hegler. I'll do you one better. If there's a time where you're gonna get a payment, check it as soon as you actually receive it. Obviously, there's only so much you could do when you are running a business where you're getting a lot of small transactions, but especially with DoorDash, UberEats, Grubhub, you gotta make sure you're checking on it on a regular basis and you're talking to these people about it. Because if there is one thing DoorDash is known for, any of these gig apps really are known for, is playing games with the restaurants, the drivers, and the customers. So that way, it creates a toxic environment for all parties. And they'll never take responsibility for themselves. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. I wouldn't be surprised if DoorDash was just lying right through their teeth to make themselves look good enough to not get caught doing the wrong thing. And not to mention, let's also acknowledge the major point here. They lost $24,000 and they said a payment would be issued as a courtesy, but they didn't say how much. They didn't say that they were covering the whole thing. They just said a one-time courtesy payment. And we can't confirm for sure if they actually received it. That's not what they said in this article. So it's very possible that DoorDash was either experiencing a breach, somebody within DoorDash actually stole the money and sent it to another account. It's possible DoorDash themselves stole the money and blamed it on some third-party organization. And honestly, I think at this point, it wouldn't surprise me if DoorDash was actually getting to the point where they have to do this to other people. Also, think about it like this. There are a lot of businesses that don't get put on the news. There are a lot of people that get scammed and these news stations just turn them away. Can you actually go through the proper channels? Do these people who get scammed know how to go through the proper channels in order to make this as public as possible? Are you even in a state where these businesses will be fought for? Because I'll tell you what, there are some states that will look at the situation and say, oh, what do you want us to do? This is a right to work state, which is 49 out of 50 states, and they just really don't care about helping you at this point. The reality of this is that all of these companies who run the news, they could very well be ignoring other businesses that have also been scammed out of thousands of dollars, and they're not saying anything. But you have to make the biggest stink in the world about it in order to get the payment you deserve. How long has Uber Phoenix been fighting to get his $1,700 back from DoorDash? What about Bud Soda? He had to fight for 4 months and he had to know the right people in order to get back in the door. This person had to lose $24,000 over 4 months. Obviously, he could have been checking on his stuff on a regular basis, but that's another story entirely. All in all, just make sure you're protecting your account information as best as possible. And if you're expecting a payment, watch for that payment. And if you didn't get that payment, call immediately about it, because you never know what's gonna happen in the future, or if you're gonna be the person who's been hacked next. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.